boys? Welcome back to the second quarter. Today we're going to go over our conference championship recaps, Super Bowl predictions. Later we're going to talk about NFL honors review and some more about the MLB lockout, and we're going to explain what arbitration is and also the NFL coaching hires. So you want to kick it off?
Yep, I'm your co-host, Dalton Carty.
I'm Jacob Eichenlob.
We're going to pause real quick for the thumbnail. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. To recap the conference championship games, Bengals versus Chiefs, 27-24 win. This was 2 weeks ago, so we're a little bit behind. Obviously, we didn't make a video last week because of the Pro Bowl. Who really cares about that? So Joe Burrow, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Mixon, 88 yards on 21 carries. My keys to success for this game was get Mixon involved early and keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase in this game. And that's exactly what they did, and they came out with the win. So huge win for the Bengals. First time going to the Super Bowl in, 40 years?
Something like that. You know what my key to success was for the Bengals?
What's that?
It was Patrick Mahomes playing like shit the second half. And then in overtime also. And actually, I'm going to also pause this conversation to talk about something. If you're a Bills fan, up yours. You had the number one defense in the NFL, and you couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes, but fucking Von Bell did. No,
Eli Apple
and Von Bell, and everyone stopped him in overtime. Y'all didn't deserve to win that game. If you can't do that, then they can. I'm sorry. You have 2 All-Pro safeties. That should not have happened. I understand he put up a shit ton of points, but so did you. You have the number one defense in the league. Stop it.
Yep, so Patrick Mahomes, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions coming in the second half. He was 9 for 20 in the second half of this game, and I believe 220 of his yards came in the first half alone. So definitely a horrible showing for him in the second half. Hill and Kelsey combined for 17 catches, 173 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Bengals O-line this game only allowed 1 sack. Yeah. So they kept Joey B protected. They knew what was on the line.
Well, see, I don't really think they kept him protected. I think he just broke a lot of sacks.
That's true.
Ran.
He did break. He broke an incredible sack by that was going to be by Chris Jones, and ended up making a first down out to keep that drive alive to kick a field goal.
A fun fact about this game: obviously, everyone knows the Bengals were down 21-3 at one point. The Chiefs scored 3 total points in the last 35 minutes of regulation and overtime. Their last touchdown came with 5 minutes left in the second quarter to McCole Hardman, and then obviously they hit that field goal to force overtime.
This is the second time the Chiefs have blown a 21-3 lead within the last 4 years, and the only other quarterback to do that is Joe Burrow and Marcus Mariota. So, the Chiefs, man, the Chiefs. So obviously the Chiefs out now, and the Bengals are in the Super Bowl for the first time in 40 years. So very impressive, from worst to first. It's a great story.
Starting the year, they actually had the same odds to win the Super Bowl as the Jaguars and Jets.
Really?
Yeah, same odds.
Imagine putting $100 on that.
The payout was like $15K.
Crazy. So moving on to the 49ers versus Rams. The Rams get it done in their home stadium, and they're going to play the Super Bowl at home. Either way, one of these teams was going to end up playing a Super Bowl at home. I mean, the 49ers, it's just up the road, and for the Rams, it's literally your home stadium.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams have a home stadium. They never have more fans than the other team. I can't think of a game this year where they had more fans than their team. There were more Niners fans for the conference championship than there were Rams fans, and they weren't selling tickets to Niners fans.
I got a feeling that there will be more Bengals fans there than there will be Rams fans, because Rams went to the Super Bowl, 2 years ago? And the Bengals haven't gone in 40 years, so every Bengals fan in the country is going to that game.
Yeah, fair point. But tickets, I think the average price was like $9,000 for one ticket.
I was looking at them on SeatGeek the other day, and the cheapest one I could find was about $5,500.
Yeah. No, I looked at it like the day after, the conference championships. The cheapest one I could find was $4,830, and bro, those seats were horrible.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
It was so bad. I wasn't gonna go, but I just wanted to see how much it cost.
Matthew Stafford had 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception for this game. Cam Akers and Sonny Michel were limited to 23 combined carries for only 64 yards. Kupp and OBJ exploded for 18 catches for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ramsey, Miller, and Donald, the 3 main guys on defense for him, only combined for a total of 2 tackles. So that's a very odd statistic for them, especially going up against an offense that's kind of average for them.
Kyle Shanahan has been a part of some of the biggest choke jobs in football history recently.
I don't know if you could call this a choke job. They were the 6th seed.
You were up 10 heading into the fourth quarter. It's a choke job.
Well, okay, you make a good point.
They were up 10 in the fourth quarter against the Chiefs a couple years ago. He was the offensive coordinator when the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. He's a good coach, but he just chokes so often. I understand a lot of that's on the team, but as a coach, you guys need to be ready to run through a wall for you.
Deebo Samuel for this game was their best rusher with 26 carries. Elijah Mitchell only averaged 1.8 yards per carry for this game, so they really shut down the run game. forced the 49ers to throw, and that's why the Rams ended up winning this game. That's how, in my keys to success, that's how they were going to win this game, is force Jimmy G to throw the ball.
The 49ers typically do better when Jimmy Garoppolo does not throw touchdowns.
Exactly. So,
they're like, I think, 9-2 when he doesn't throw a touchdown.
That probably sounds right.
I'm pretty sure it's close to that. It might be 9-3.
So the real question is are the 49ers going to stick with Jimmy G, or are they going to move off to Trey Lance this offseason? I would say that they probably move off Jimmy G, even though he just had a fantastic playoff run with them and was one game away from a Super Bowl appearance. They traded up for this Trey Lance guy at number 3. So, I mean, I feel like if you sit him for 2 years, you're just wasting talent at that point.
2 years of his rookie deal. But I do think they're going to trade Jimmy G. I think if they won the Super Bowl, they would have kept him. But there's not a lot of great quarterbacks in this draft class. There's not really good quarterback talent. You got like 3 guys, and none of them are like, in my opinion, top 15 picks. But someone's probably going to go in the top 5 because it's a quarterback.
Yeah, it's a quarterback. Everybody needs a quarterback.
Shit. But I feel like you could probably get a decent bit of assets for Jimmy Garoppolo in a trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's a winning quarterback, and he's better than any of the quarterbacks that are coming in through the draft. At least at this very moment.
I agree. So also in the same video, we're going to do our Super Bowl predictions because there wasn't a lot to talk about for the conference championship like there was for the divisional rounds, the wild card rounds. So do you want to kick off your prediction first?
Yeah. So I was looking at the line. I think it was Tuesday, and the Rams were -4.5. The second straight year a team has played the Super Bowl in their home stadium. Obviously, the Bucs won it last year in Raymond Jones. But the Rams don't ever have home field advantage regardless of where they play. I feel like there was a team in St. Louis, they'd have home field advantage there, but they were in St. Louis. But it's just, I don't know. The Bengals have played really well as an underdog so far, beating the Titans and the Chiefs. And McPherson is, I think, 12 for 12 on field goals so far in the postseason. And
man doesn't feel pressure.
No, he doesn't.
I would say he's the second best kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, already.
As a rookie.
Only behind Justin Tucker.
He's the best kicker in Bengals franchise history, and he's a rookie.
I mean you can make a half-decent case that Jamar is like a top 3 Bengals receiver ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make a case that Joe Burrow is the best Bengals quarterback ever.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with the Bengals. I'm gonna say 28-24.
28-24 Bengals.
Yeah, 28-24 Bengals.
I'm gonna go 33-30 for the Cincinnati Bengals covering the +4 spread. I've picked against them in everything except for the Raiders game, and I've picked against the Rams in every single game so far. So I'm gonna pick against the Rams one more time. I'm gonna say the Bengals take this one. I think they're just riding the momentum. It's like Joe Burrow said, it's not why not us, like it is us.
Yeah,
and just having that mentality going into a Super Bowl. I know Sean McVay's got the coaching experience there, but so does Zach Taylor because he was the offensive coordinator for them when they went to the Super Bowl. So the key to success for the Bengals, it's to keep Joe Burrow protected again. You got to have the same game plan as last week. You're going up against Von Miller and Aaron Donald. Those guys are Hall of Famers. You got to get Chase and Higgins involved early so you can keep mixing in the run game like they did last week. Really, the key to success for the Bengals is the same thing they did last week: is make Stafford uncomfortable, force him to throw the ball. Because when he has a lot of time to throw the ball, he gets a little antsy and tries to force things.
I think that I have a couple of keys to success for the Bengals. Also, you got to run some screens. I mean, you're facing 2 of the greatest pass rushers, arguably ever.
Oh yeah,
and definitely in the league today. You use their blitzing and their pressure against them and screens and little checkdowns to mix in. And also, don't let Eli Apple cover Cooper Kupp. That's just not a good idea.
Who do you suggest he covers things?
I don't know. Probably Van Jefferson.
I was about to say there's not a receiver on that team that I think Eli Apple could cover.
No, I feel like his best shot's against Van Jefferson because he's not a bad receiver, but he is the worst on the team.
Yeah, he's more like just a deep threat only guy.
Yeah, that's what you got safeties for.
It's good. Jesse Bates is top 3 in the NFL for safeties.
Yeah. I mean, without him, they don't pick that ball off to knock off the Chiefs.
That's true.
He batted it right into Von
Bell's. The only 2 that I would
arms.
put ahead of him is Derwin James and probably Kevin Byard.
Yeah, that's an L.
Maybe Buda Baker, Tyrann Mathieu.
I would just talk about
debatably.
Kevin Byard.
All right, we'll get into this maybe a little bit later. In the offseason, we'll do our top.
And Derwin James. I don't like Derwin James either. He's definitely not the best safety in the NFL. Jesse Bates isn't, but I don't think you can put either of those guys over him. Maybe Kevin Byard. That's debatable, but not Derwin James.
So for the Rams, the key to success are to make sure Stafford doesn't turn this ball over. Make sure keep him protected. get receivers open early. You know, you're going up against a weaker secondary with the Bengals. The Rams definitely have a stronger secondary. Establish the run early so that you can throw the ball. They have a strong 7, so you got to keep Stafford away from the pressure, because once he gets pressure, he gets a little antsy, he tries to force things, and that's where he throws his interceptions. He led the league, or was tied for first in the league with interceptions this year with Trevor Lawrence, so best to keep him protected. And for the defense, it's to get Burrow on the ground. That offense is not, or that offensive line is not good. I know they only gave up 1 sack last week, but you have
They gave up a ton of pressure. They
gave up a ton of
only
pressure,
gave up 1
yeah.
sack because Burrow kept breaking them.
It's Von Miller and Aaron Donald. If you don't get sacks this game, it's what are you paying these guys for? So force the run game to beat you. Force Mixon to beat you. You got to keep Higgins and Chase in check, and I feel like you can do that with their secondary. They have the all or nothing mentality here for this. So Rams definitely have an advantage here, but I still like the Bengals.
I really think if you're the Rams, you just cannot let Matthew Stafford be Matthew Stafford. He is horribly inconsistent at times. He throws a lot of ill-advised interceptions. Even now, you could kind of make arguments for it was his receiver's fault on the Lions because he had a dog shit receiving core every year except for when he got Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
But no, he throws a lot of ill-advised interceptions. He has 2 great receivers, a pretty good tight end, and a pretty good third-string receiver in Van Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can't put it on the receivers this year. He's thrown 17 interceptions. That's 1 a game.
Yep, he tried to force stuff, and that's really what's cost the Rams. But up to this point, he's kept it in check, and they've done very well. So
The only reason they almost blew a lead to the Bucks was because Cam Akers fumbled twice.
Tom Brady just willed his team to win some.
Also, rip Tom Brady's career, and rip Big Ben's Hall of Fame celebration, because he's going to have like 5 minutes of fame, and then it's going to be all about Tom Brady.
All about Tom Brady, yep, absolutely. So that's going to conclude our conference championship recap and our Super Bowl predictions. Tune into our next episode where we might. What do you want to talk about? Actually, we got numerous things to talk
probably
about.
go with coaching hires in the next one.
All right, so tune into our next episode or our next segment where we talk about all the recent coaching hires and how we feel about them. So we'll see you.